This morning we're talking about San Diego's real estate market in 2020. We're joined by Carlos Gutierrez from Sotheby's International Real Estate Company with what we can expect in the new decade. Carlos, great to see you again.
Great. Good to see you as well.
Glad
Jason.
You're here.
Yeah, thank you.
Interest of full disclosure, because we were talking about San Diego State, the Aztecs. The football team wins the New Mexico Bowl.
Yeah.
The men's basketball team wins, stays undefeated. The women's love team wins. All yesterday.
Love to be an Aztec.
And this guy right here used to be Monty Montezuma.
Go Aztecs.
He was the guy with the conch shell, right?
Conch shell, flaming spear back in the day when that was politically correct.
Right? All right.
Yeah.
So that's good. I just want to make sure our audience knows if you look familiar, that's why. Okay. Let's talk about the current state of real estate market in San Diego.
Yeah, that's a great question. What would you like to know? And remember, full disclosure, this is my forecast, my predictions, what's going on in San Diego. I think we're dealing with a great market. And people have to remember this. 2008 was probably the bottom real estate recession. We're in 2019 going into a new decade. My coach, Mike Ferry, always talk about, what did you do the last 10 years? Because you're going into a new era. It's a new decade. So it's going to be really interesting. So we're in uncharted territory because we always look what happened in the past, what's going to kind of happen in the future. So real estate usually goes up in cycles, and most people know this. If they don't, 5 to 7 years. We're on 11 years an upward trend. So it's really interesting with low interest rates, shortage of inventory mostly around the country, and the aging of the baby boomers. A lot of home builders aren't building as many as they should be.
A lot of home builders have shifted from building the big luxury homes to the more affordable homes, right?
Makes sense, right?
Yes, it does, I mean, because that's what we always talk about, affordable housing and the lack of it.
Exactly, and especially in San Diego. I mean, the issue is that we don't have a lot of buildable land here, so they have to tear down those other homes to build the new ones. But to get in that entry level, I mean, the moving market is really around $400,000 to $700,000 dealing with conforming loans, and we can get into that stuff, talking about how to get into the market.
Well, getting into the market, a lot of people think, okay, I'd love to get in right now, but I don't have 20% to put down.
That's a great point, and a lot of people think that's what you need. Granted, you could buy a home for 3.5% down. Granted, you will have to pay the mortgage insurance that will have to cover what would make up for that 20% normally, because 20% is normally what we need. That's what people think. But you could get in with 3.5% down and pay that MI. But there are ways to get out of that MI down the road 6 months to a year, and especially if you find a fixer, you put a little bit of cash into it, and then you fix it up and then have it reappraised, and then you're able to have a new appraisal and then cover that shortage and get out of the MI. That's the way, if people have a little bit of wherewithal. And right now, I tell you, and I did it my first time. Thank God my dad was there to help my brother and I buy our first place. He gave us $5,000 each. I go, Papa, I'm paying you interest and I'm going to pay you back fast, because you would always throw that over your head.
Right.
But kids, if you have parents that are willing to give you some money to buy a place, the only thing is you got to start. The first thing is suck it up. Quit buying those freaking lattes. Quit paying $1,100 for the iPhone. Quit going out on a Friday, Saturday night. Save your money. Buy a place. At least save yourself the rent money, and then you'll find out 3 to 5 years that God, I bought a place and I'm not paying into the interest, and I'm making money down the road.
Well, you mentioned a lack of inventory. More and more people are leaving the state of California. The U-Haul index doesn't lie. When it costs you, hypothetically $500 to rent a U-Haul to go from here to Las Vegas, and then to bring it back costs you $100. How might that affect the real estate market? Is it going to open up more inventory?
There are people that are staying in their homes a lot longer is what we're seeing. The baby boomers are aging in their homes. They're not selling as fast. They're not moving as much. However, the ones that are, they're moving to Arizona, Texas, Utah. They're moving to Idaho. They're moving to Arizona, Las Vegas. South Carolina, North Carolina is another big one. So a lot of people are moving out, granted, but there's still that influx in business moving here. Thank goodness, but I know our governor's trying to, with all the taxes and crazy stuff they're doing with rent control and all the other things, a lot of people are moving out, especially the baby boomers. Kids are pissed off, fed up with it. We will see a little bit of opening up, but it's still such a tight market in the inventory. The people that are coming in, the people that are leaving, they're not building enough new homes. That's the thing. Okay,
in closing here, we got about 30 seconds left. You at Sotheby's, you guys have a program where you're crossing the border to build. And tell us about these what do you call them?
It's called Agents of Change, and that's basically real estate agents that are being a change in their community, which is here, inspiring others to do great things here. Like Tommy does great things here. We try to inspire others to do great things. Well, luckily we have a program that we can go across the border, help families that are poor, don't have homes. I mean, they've got 3 or 4 kids maybe, and they're living with their family on the floor, and I mean, it is cold down there, and we understand the homeless situation here. Nevertheless, it gives an opportunity for us to go, get our hands dirty, get together, build a team, and inspire others to do great things, even here on this side of the border or that.
And were they 3D homes or something?
So what's going on now is we're hammering and we're building new homes. You go on my Facebook or Carlos Nonstop on Instagram and see what we're doing. We're building homes, putting up walls and things like that. But now, with News Story and World Housing, they're building Icon, is a new company out of Austin that are building digitized 3D homes. For $5,000, they can have the infrastructure, and they're doing it in Mexico right now to basically work out all the bugs, seeing what's working, what's not, and they're going to be building communities. They just finished 50 homes down in Mexico, not in Tijuana, but a little bit further down, and the president's behind it, and they got to vet these families out, and these families own the land, etc. But they are amazing. 2-bedroom, 1-bath home, 500 square feet.
For $5,000.
For $5,000, it's amazing. Yeah.
Maybe we could do something like that here. We just have to find the land to put them on.
Well, this is the problem, but 25% of building a home goes through all the red tape that you have to go through the government. So, which is good with Kevin's doing now with the ADUs and that stuff, but that's another situation. But if you could do that on your land, do it. I would build an ADU. You could keep it for your family, or you get older. That's what a lot of older families are doing now. Okay. But that's another possibility for rentals and providing more houses.
All right. Carlos Gutierrez, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, and Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you.
All right.